Both servers? Or the second one? Second one. So if you're not following me, write down the notes. So guys, Hyper-V, first of all, how do you define Hyper-V? Hyper-V is a server virtualization technology. It is an enterprise virtualization solution. We need to remember that. Now, in order to have Hyper-V in our environment, what is the need of Hyper-V? Because in this organization, I don't want to buy more physical server. I still need 5 more servers. I don't need to buy, we don't have the resources to buy, so we can use our one powerful server and install Hyper-V, and then we'll create 4 virtual machines. So this is the goal. Now, here, first of all, Hyper-V. Hyper-V is a server virtualization solution from Microsoft. Objective. Why are we installing Hyper-V? Because we need 5 servers in this organization. We need 5 servers. In order to have 5 servers, your solution is either you buy 5 physical servers or have 1 physical server and 4 virtual machines. So you have 2 options. In this, you have options. You can buy 5 physical servers, or option number 2, buy one physical server and create 4 virtual machines. 4 virtual machines. So guys, this is what we need. So here, either you go with 5 virtual servers, so we'll go with option 2. Our company goes with. Guys, we need to understand this scenario in order to understand Hyper-V. What's happening? Question, Jafar? Okay. But you have server 2. Okay. So don't worry about joining. Don't worry about anything. Just log into DC1. Just we'll be doing everything in DC1. Guys, in order to understand any technology, guys, we need to understand the motive. We need to understand the objective. Why Hyper-V? So in order to have Hyper-V, this is our situation. This is why we are having Hyper-V. I mean, if you have 5 physical servers, you can easily install a server. But since we cannot afford to buy physical server, we have one powerful server. We're going to create 4 virtual machines inside. So this is, our company goes with option number 2. And now, in order to do this, all we need to do is this: install server 2012. Install server 2012, number 1. Then we're gonna add Hyper-V role. Hyper-V. So this is what I'm gonna do. Now, going back to my server here, I have a server ready. Within this server, what we're going to do is I'm going to add a role. How do you add a role? We can do add roles and features. Within add roles and features, on server 2, it's fine, guys. If your server 2 is not joined, so work on server 1. Then just work on server 1. So later on, we'll be joining it, and we can try on server 2 again. So if you have server 1, just work on server 1. In this case, I'm going to add the role. As soon as you go move forward and add the role, here you can find a role called Hyper-V. Inside Hyper-V, go with the defaults. The first time, it needs all these features. So as soon as you go there, it says the validation failed. Hyper-V cannot be installed in a hypervisor, because this is what I discussed, because we already have VMware Workstation. Inside that you cannot have it, and it's strange that I have version 11, still it won't let it go. So what we need to do is, guys, especially in VMware Workstation, we need to open this server's VMX file. Now what is a VMX file? VMX file is the main file is the configuration file of VM. Now, whose VMX file I need to make changes to? Whose? CANF server 1. So first of all, I need to know where is my CANF server 1. My CANF server 1 in my case in E drive, virtual machines, I would open it. So make sure where it is first. So I'll go to E drive, I'll go to virtual machines. Within virtual machines, my server is this server. So this is my server. You're using server 2. Is it joined? Okay, that's fine. In that case, just go to server 2 and locate your VMX file. Now guys, my VMX file is this file. If you don't see the extension, guys, for new guys, for the new people to IT, always remember each file is made up of a file name and extension. Saf and Ijaz, especially for you guys, each file is made up of file name and extension. So look at this. This is a file name, and then there is a dot, then there is a 3-digit. This is called an extension. So if the extension of the file is VMX, it is a VMX file. Now within a VMX file, if you don't see an extension, Ijaz, you don't see an extension. Do you see extension? Because we enabled it, right? SF, do you see extension? You don't see it. You don't see extension to do? Okay. So if you don't see extension, all you need to do is this, guys. You need to go into organize. You need to go to folder options. Organize. Folder options. Do you see organize? You have Windows 8. Windows 8. Who is on Windows 8? So, yes, press Alt O. Alt T. Huh? Just press Alt. Huh? Yes, if you go to folder options here, folder option in view, you just need to uncheck this, hide extension. Hide extension. Guys, this is not very important, but this is just to show the extension. Zahir, if you don't find the extension, if you don't see the extension, just look at the icon. The icon with these three boxes, this is a VMX file. It already changed to Notepad. That's fine. Just double click it and open it in Notepad. So double click and just make sure that it is as soon as you open it. Oops, I double clicked it. It should be right click. I would open it in Notepad. So as soon as you open it in Notepad, guys, here now this is your complete VM configuration. Normally we don't make any changes to this. Because if you make any changes to this, your VM might not start again. So do not make any changes that you don't know. Now in this file, we need to do some special changes. And how do we know the special changes, guys? I don't know. I don't remember also the special changes. But there are some articles that we need to follow these. So what I would do is, that's it, exactly. Now if outside, if you don't remember what do you need to change, all you need to do is you can type installing HyperV inside VMware Workstation. Just search for this, installing HyperV inside VMware Workstation. As soon as you go there, there are many articles that would give you this. Now here, if you go to any link, so here this is the error that I'm getting. And all you need to do, power off your machine. power off your machine, and then open the VMX file. Within VMX file, all you need to do is add these 3 lines. Now you can type this, or it is better to copy this. You can type this, but it is better to copy this. Yes, you need to shut down the machine. So here, one more time. So all I search for, install Hyper-V inside VMware Workstation. Just quickly do this. So go to Google. Saf, you're doing it? Jafar? Hmm? So did you find it, Ijaz? No, hold on. Did you search for this? Are you in Google? You're in Google. Did you search for install Hyper-V inside VMware Workstation? Zishan, can quickly check that out. Is it Jafar? So now you go to this link. So just select the first link, and in this link, if you go down, right here, it gives you these 3 lines. All you need to do is to copy this and paste it inside the notepad, inside the VMX file. And just at the end. So here, what I'll do is, I'll go into my server, but before that I need to power it down, so the changes won't take effect. Then I need to open my notepad file, and right at the end of the file, I'll paste these 3 lines. Right at the end of the file, I'll paste these 3 lines. Save it. Power on the machine. Once this is done, power on the machine. Hmm? Log in with the local administrator. That's fine. So I'm logging in again, guys. In this case, I'll just log in. So here, as soon as you log in now, I'll start the Hyper-V process again. As soon as you start, what we'll do is we'll add the role again. So guys, I'm adding the role again. As soon as you move forward, you can select Hyper-V. Okay, so there is one more little thing here. So yes, you do have a server. I've added those things, but one more thing that we need to do is power off. So power this server off and go to the settings here. Within settings, you need to go to the CPU, and here you need to select VT and CPU performance counters. Here, just select VT. So go to that VM settings, select processor. Within processor, you need to enable this. So along with the VMX changes, we need to do this change as well. Yes. Okay, it is restarting. Okay, that's fine. And in the meantime, I'll just try again. Yes. Hmm? Yes. For that, you have to power off as well. So here, what is nick teaming? Adding two or more cards to work together. And what are the benefits? It provides more bandwidth, load balancing, and fault tolerance. Good. After what is nick teaming? We can add two or more cards. Okay. And then it also gives us fault tolerance. Fault tolerance. So guys, I'm adding the role again for the third time. And let's see. Yeah, it works now. Okay. Uh, so for others, guys, it's just a Hyper-V role. Let's look at until your machines are starting. You can note down what options we are going through. So I'm adding Hyper-V. As soon as you add Hyper-V in features, no need to select anything. The only thing, keep an eye on this, guys. I'm only selecting Hyper-V. Right after that, I don't need to select any features. And then, guys, here, if you look at the wizard, this wizard is normal, and right after Hyper-V, it needs to select few settings here. It needs to select how many settings here? Few settings here. So you go to next. First of all, it asks you which network card you want to use for Hyper-V. Ijaz and Saf, everybody look at the screen, please. Just for few these three windows. So here, Ijaz. So here, I'm adding Hyper-V role. So right after this, all you need to do next, and then don't need to select any features. Next, and then next. Here, it is just saying that Hyper-V needs to use a network card for a switch. So this is actually this one. It is saying that this switch will connect to which network card. So guys, remember yesterday we added three network cards. So we had one network card, second network card, and then we made a team, right? So if you have a team, then we connect it to the team network card. If you don't have a team, then connect it to zero. Then connect it to Ethernet zero. Because you're on server 2 and server 2 does not have a team, right? So in my case, I have a team, so I'll connect it to my team network card. In your case, all you need to do is connect to your Ethernet 0. So as soon as it is connected to Ethernet 0, here it says allow this server to send and receive live migration VM. Remember I was talking about live migration? We need to check this option as well. Just select this option. So later on we'll be using it, but not for now, but just select this option. Next, here you don't need to select anything. It will, now this is the location. Remember VMware automatically stores everything in My Documents. This is that location. It's saying the default location for all virtual VMs will be this in public document Hyper-V and virtual hard disk. So we'll leave it as is. We're not changing anything. We are not changing anything. And next, and here, do I need to select this option? Yes, just select it, because if it needs a restart, it should restart. As soon as it is done, it will install the role properly and then restart. You just try that on your machine. It's not adding it. It's not adding it. Saf, for you, it's not adding it. What? Even on the second server? Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Both of you power off your machines, and then add the three lines. I think because the machines are on, you're saving it, but the machines are still powered on, they're not being saved properly. I think that's the reason. First, power off your machine and then add those three lines right at the end. Make sure it's not overwriting any other lines. So right after this, as soon as it does, okay guys, here. So I'm logging in now. As soon as it is done, guys, next papers as soon as possible. Please, 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 quick, 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 quick. Next paper, next paper. We need to finish them as soon as possible. Oh, I've never seen a transcript like this, Jafar. What is this, Ustadi? I've never ever seen a transcript like this. Let me see. It's a real one. Okay. Okay, so this is your own account. So you finished 646, 413, 414, and 443. Excellent, Jafar. Very good, guys. Give him a hand. Excellent, Jafar. Very good. And you did it today. You did it today. Wow, very good. That's excellent. Nice. So guys, excellent. So guys, Hyper-V is done now. Let's start managing Hyper-V, guys. Just like we manage VMware Workstation. That's fine. I'm just showing it to you that where to go. So mostly this is to be seen before we start working. Guys, this is my Hyper-V role. It sits right here. You can and the console that you start managing Hyper-V is called HyperV Manager. You can start from here and right click here and it will take you to the Hyper-V Manager, or you can also go to Tools and then here you would see Hyper-V Manager as well. So you can go from Tools and Manager, or you can also go from here and Manager, Hyper-V Manager. And from here, all you need to do, this is your Hyper-V Manager now. Now, in other words, this is my VMware workstation, but this is more on server side. So this is my Hyper-V Manager. In Hyper-V Manager, as you can see on this side, as soon as you select your Hyper-V Server, so this is my Hyper-V Server, now it shows me everything. I can create a new virtual machine. I can import a running virtual machine from another Hyper-V server, bring it here. I can go into Hyper-V Settings. I can work on Virtual Switch Manager. Remember, edit VMware Network Switch Manager, Network Settings. So this is my VMware. This is my VMware. So guys, if you go to Edit and go to Virtual Network Editor, this is my VMware Network Editor. And in Hyper-V, you have a similar thing. So this is in here, I can see only two types of switches here in VMware Workstation. But if you need to see the same thing in Hyper-V, this is my Hyper-V Manager. Within Hyper-V Manager, I have Virtual Switch Manager. In there, it is called Virtual Network Editor. Here, inside Hyper-V, it is called Virtual Switch Manager. Inside Virtual Switch Manager, it shows me it shows me only one type of switch working at the moment. This is a switch that it has. So it's called Microsoft Network Adapter, but I can create these three different type of switches inside. Remember, I can in VMware Workstation I have these switches: NAT, host only, bridged. These are VMware Workstation switches. But if I need to create these switches, I can create these switches using Virtual Switch Manager. We are not creating any switch for now. I'll just close this. So guys, once you're here in Hyper-V Manager, we'll create our first virtual machine. So how do I create my first virtual machine? Select your Hyper-V Manager, right click and say New Virtual Machine. So this is how I create my first virtual machine. It can be created here, or it can also be created from on this side as well. So new virtual machine. Now same thing, the way you create virtual machine in VMware Workstation, nothing different. You will go next and guys name it now. So name it Caneps VM1. Caneps VM1. This is our Caneps VM1. And it will be saving data in this location. If you need to store it in a different location, it's up to you. For now, we're leaving it in the same location. And then next, it is saying how much memory do you want to give to this machine. So here, we're giving 512, leave the default, we're not changing it. And next, and here, it's saying which network switch do you want to connect to. Guys, in VMware Workstation, it automatically decides for us. It automatically selects NAT for us. But here it is asking me which switch do you want to connect to. So do we see any options here? Either not connected or a switch. So only one option. So we can connect it to a switch. So just connect to your only switch, which is your virtual switch. So this is my virtual switch. And next here, it is saying where do you want, this is the place where it will save the hard disk. Are you guys on the same screen? Okay. No, this is the server. Now you're creating a machine inside your Hyper-V server. So that C drive is for your Hyper-V server, not for the machine. So guys, here we'll leave with the default settings for now. Now one thing to remember. One thing to what? Guys, it's very important thing to remember. In Hyper-V, that VM's disk in Hyper-V, VM's disk is known as VHDX. In Hyper-V, VM's disk. So this is my VM inside Hyper-V, and it has two very important files. One is VMX file, and VMX file is the VM configuration file. And guys, the second important file for this VM is VHDX file. It is VHDX file. VHDX file is the disk for that VM. VHDX file is the disk for that VM. It is disk of VM. It is called VHDX. So as you can see right here, this is VHDX here. VHDX. This is the disk of that VM. Guys, in VMware Workstation, it has similar files. So this is my VMware. If this is my VMware, in VMware, it also has VMX file, and VMX file has the same function. It is the VM configuration file. Have you ever opened this VMX file? Yes, just now we have. Guys, the disk for that file is this. The disk for in VMware Workstation is VMDK. So this is the difference between Hyper-V and VMware Workstation. In VMware, the disk is called VMDK, whereas in Hyper-V it is known as VHDX. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. When it creates a VM, Hyper-V creates a VHDX disk, whereas VMware creates VMDK disk. So VMDK in VMware Workstation, and in Hyper-V it is VHDX. So just remember it like this. Whenever you create a VM, it will create a VMX file and a VHDX file. VHDX file is the disk of that VM, and VMX file is the configuration of that VM. So we'll leave that as is for now, and then create here next one. Guys, this is also the next setting we have also seen in VMware Workstation. Here it is saying, do you want to add any ISO to this VM? So here we'll go without ISO. Remember when we were installing Server 2012, we went without ISO. Or if you can provide the ISO as well. You can provide the ISO. For example, if you need to install Server 2008 on this, then you would provide the ISO. For now, we'll just say install operating system later. We're not providing any ISO for now. And next, and finish. So this will create our first VM. As soon as the VM is created, as you can see here, it is our first VM. And this VM, so this is my first VM, and I can start this VM right on this side. This is all VM settings here. Now, VM can be started. I can take a snapshot. I can move it. I can export it. I can delete it. I can connect to it. Now, guys, here, all you need to do, right click on this VM and start the VM. Right click on the VM and start it. As soon as you start it, guys, here it will show you a little screen right here, a very little screen here, but you can open it right from here. You can just double click, open it. Yeah, just double click, open it. As soon as it is open, it will start the VM. It will show you how the VM will look like. For now, we are not installing operating system because we have not configured resources. For now, there is not proper resource, but this is your VM. Guys, what I want you to do is create 5 more VMs. Create 5 more VMs here. Now the VMs that I want you to create are these. Create some Calyx VM1 you already. Okay guys, now look at this HyperV Manager. Now within HyperV Manager, this is my HyperV Server, and these are my VMs. I'm quickly going to create another VM here. Let's create another VM. So second VM is Scanf Web1, and then next, and memory. I'll connect it to this switch, and next, and done. So once this is all done, it is being created. I have 2 VMs sitting here now. So these 2 VMs. Number one, how to take a snapshot of this VM. We take snapshots in VMware. So before even taking a snapshot, guys, I need to know the location of this VM. Because in all of these environments, it's very important to know the location where they are. In different servers, in different organizations, you have different locations. It might not be in C drive. In your organization, it might be in E drive or D drive. So let's find the location. How do you find the location? Right click on this, go to settings, and within settings, you can go to right here. So here your setting. Now the best way is to copy this path. Yes. So all you can do is right click on this VM, go to settings, and within settings, go to file location. And here within the file location, just copy this, or if you can go directly, you can open Explorer right from here. Open Explorer and then go to this location. So I'll go to C program files, Microsoft. I'll go to computer, C program files. Oh, program data. It is program. No, it's data. So program data is hidden. It's hidden. We need to unhide it. This folder is hidden. I mean, you can always unhide it, but if you don't want to go unhide it, the easier way is to just copy this path completely and then paste it here in the address. You can paste it here and it will take you directly to that path. So you can go here, copy the path. So right click on this and copy it, and then you can open Explorer, and then here you can paste it. So it is just hidden, but it's available. Hmm? That path is grayed out. Hold on. So going into settings, going into snapshot, here if this path is grayed out, you cannot even select it. No, my VM is running. Okay, it's like this. It's grayed out. So have you selected this or this? It's not grayed out now, right? You selected snapshot file location and it is still. Uh-huh. So here you go into this location, and this is the location where the VM is. Everybody's there? Okay. Guys, the next thing is, let's look at the VM properties here. Now let's look at the VM properties. First of all, going before the properties, I need to take a snapshot. How do I take a snapshot? Yes. So hold on. Number one, Guys, these are all folders are for Hyper-V system folders. We don't change anything in these folders. These are system, but what we have, what we are more interested in, we are interested in the disks or the storage of this. So hold on. For now, the path that we go to is a snapshot folder path. It's not the actual path of your VM. Okay, guys, ready? Guys, okay, so snapshot file location is one location. Now hard disk location is a different location. Where your hard disk is sitting, that is a different location. Hard disk. Hard disk of your VM is sitting in a different location. So your hard disk of that VM, in order to find out where are all of the hard drives of these VMs, I have two, you have five. So we need to find that out. You can select the HyperV server, and then go to HyperV settings on this side. Go to HyperV Settings. As soon as you go to the settings, this is my VHD disks location. And my VMs are here. This is my VM data on this location, and my Hyper-Vs are here. So let's copy this path. Okay. So you select the Hyper-V server on this side, and then Hyper-V settings. Click Hyper-V settings. This is your complete server setting. In real environment, we don't keep these disks. In real environment, guys, we don't keep these disks in C drive. We keep them in E drive or another drive. But for now, you can select this and then open it in Explorer. So I would copy it the same path. Yes, simple Explorer. Now this shows me my two disks for this for these VMs. Okay, so now we know where these disks are. You couldn't find it? What? Hmm? Uh-huh. If you want to go without copying the paths, you can go to computer, C drive, users, public document, Hyper-V, and this location. So guys, now let's go to the VM properties here. So now I have two VMs. Ijaz, you need help? Jafar, you're there? Yes. No, you can make 3 as well. But you don't have resources? Giving you error? Okay, yeah, 100 is fine as well. 100 is fine. Guys, we are just trying to go to a simple path. What's happening? Huh? Okay, hold on. So you went here first, and then you went to HyperV Settings, and then you copied the complete paths, right? You copied it, then you went to Internet Explorer, and then here you selected all of this. You cannot just copy the path in front of library. It should be selected all, delete. It should be completely empty, and then paste the path. So guys, let's go. Let's move on. So here I have. So this is my VM. So first of all, in Hyper-V, it is very important to create snapshots as we go on. So why? Because this is a professional server virtualization environment. What we do is, in order to create a snapshot, all you need to do is right-click actually on this. Here, just right-click on this, and you can have a snapshot. Now, snapshot is point time. It is kind of restore point. As soon as you do, you can see a snapshot. It says that you have taken a snapshot on this date at this time. Now, if after 5 minutes or after some time you need to create another snapshot, let's create another snapshot. So you right click and then another snapshot. Now it is creating another snapshot. Now you have two snapshots. One that was taken as 6:23 at 13 seconds, and second snapshot is taken at 6:23 at 35 seconds. Now, if you need to revert back to any snapshot, all you need to do, you can say you can select the snapshot and then you can apply the snapshot. As soon as you apply that snapshot, it will move back to that previous snapshot. So guys, this is what snapshot is. Snapshot is point in time backup. Snapshot is called point in time backup. So in VMware environment, take snapshot. Snapshot is point in time backup. It is a point in time backup, which in other words, it's like a restore point in Windows. But this is more powerful than just a restore point, because restore point gives you only system backup, system file backup. But guys, this is complete backup, complete snapshot of your VM. So you can select, as you can see on other VMs, we have not taken a snapshot. You don't see anything in snapshot. In this VM, I have snapshot. I can move on to this or this or this. I can move on to any of these snapshots. Now the next thing is you can connect to this VM right through here. You can go into the settings right through here. You can turn off this VM right from here. You can shut down. What is the difference between shut down and power off? Turn off. Yes, shutdown is shutting them down from properly, and power off is just plugging it out from power. It is just what? Yes. So guys, wow. So guys, here you have shutdown, you have save, and you can save as well. You can pause, you can reset, you can snapshot, you can revert back to any place. Other than this, you can move this VM, you can rename this VM, you can enable replication. Enable replication is an advanced concept in which you create a copy of this VM exactly on another Hyper-V host. But for now, what we need to understand, guys, let's go into the properties of this VM. Now, when you go into the settings of this VM, within settings, it shows you what kind of hardware do you have on this VM. For example, it shows me it has a BIOS. It has a BIOS just like all laptops have BIOS. This has a BIOS too. It is also showing me. You can also change the order, the boot order for this VM. The boot order. What is a boot order? The way the machine starts. The way the machine starts. Boot order. You can check. Now, how much memory do we have? 512 on this. Now, on the same, we can have a different type of settings here as well. For example, there is something called dynamic memory. There is something called dynamic memory. Now, it is grayed out because this VM is running. Let's open properties of a VM that is off. So I'll just open a property settings of a VM that is off and go to memory. Now I have these settings. I can enable dynamic memory. Now, what is a dynamic memory, guys? There are two types of memory allocation. One is that I would give just static memory, which is 512. But second type of memory is that start with 512 and go up to this level. It can go up to, so it started with 512, then after 15 minutes it needed more memory and it asked for CPU, it will get more memory. So it went on, and after few days, now it is sitting on 4 gigs. So dynamic memory, you will give an option to the VM that how much, whatever memory you need, you can go up to that level. But guys, if you don't go with dynamic memory and go with this, the total memory this machine has is 512. That's it. It will not get any other more. It will not get more memory than 512. So yes, in some networks we go with this. So dynamic memory is what? Dynamic memory is minimum and maximum. So it can start with minimum and start asking for more whenever it needs. So, and whereas if you don't go with dynamic, it will the maximum it can get is 512. Now guys, there is another thing called wait, memory wait. Now let's see this. I have VM number 1, I have VM number 2. How many VMs? 2. So this VM is also set with dynamic memory and this VM is also set with dynamic memory. Now this started with 512, this started with 512. It needed more memory, so your host machine provided 512 more, so then now this machine has 1 gig. Now this machine also needs more memory, so this will ask more. Both are on one gig. Now at one point where both machine needs more memory, but your host machine does not have enough memory. So now if you increase the weight of this machine, it means that this machine has more priority. CPU will give this machine first memory and then after that, so priority 1 is this. This is what wait is. If you keep it normal for all machines, then it is first come, first serve. But if you increase the weight on one machine and decrease the weight on other, then always the machine that has more weight will be given memory first. So this is just the weight of that memory. Now, other than this, you have processor. In processor, it's the same thing as VMware Workstation. It is one processor. It is resources. You have some more limits as well. No need to go into more detail in this. You have a hard disk here. You have a, so this is my IDE controllers. IDE is where your hard disk and CD-ROM is connected to. For now, I have only one drive. Have we ever added a drive in VMware Workstation? How do we add a drive in VMware Workstation? You go to VM settings and add more drive, right? Guys, exactly in the same manner, here, if I need more disk, all I need to do is add more disk right from here. So here, I would say new disk. I need a new disk. And as soon as you start new disk, I would select, okay, I need a VHDX. It is dynamic expanding, and this is my new, the new VHDX is 5 GB inside, and next, finish. Now I have added a new drive. So here I see one drive, and as soon as you apply these settings, it should show me another drive here as well as soon as I close and reopen it again. So this is how you add more drives here. Where's my other drive? Okay, sorry. It's here. Here in drive, you select on IDE controller and add, and you would select a new drive. So this is my new drive, and next. 5. Failed to create new drive, encountered error creating virtual drive. Why? I don't have space on this. I have a lot of space on this. Create a blank disk with this properties. Hmm? It is off, but it doesn't matter. It should create a new drive. We'll go to details. The system failed to create a drive. The file. Oh, okay. So there is a file already exists with the same name. Okay, hold on. Let's change this name because I just created it. I'll just rename it with 1. I add 1 at the end, and it should now create it. So sometimes when you get an error message, just go to details and see that what it is about. It was just saying that you already have another drive with the same name. So now I can see 2 drives. One drive is here, the second drive is here. In the same manner, you can add more drives whenever you need it. Here it is showing you your CD-ROM. If you ever need to add a ISO to this, if you ever need to install Windows in this, then we would go here and I would provide an image for that ISO. Remember in VMware Workstation we provide an image. The same thing we can do right from here, but we're not adding an image for now. It is showing me a network card here, some COM ports here, no need for these. Guys, here it shows me the name of my VM. You can rename it right from here. You can rename it. And then so do we have VMware tools in VMware Workstation? Yes, what is the function of VMware tools in VMware Workstation? To have proper display, keyboard and mouse drivers. Remember when you install VMware tools in VMware Workstation, then your screen becomes wider and then your keyboard. So VMware tools gives you proper display, keyboard and mouse driver. Guys, the same thing in Hyper-V, they're called integration services. These are integration services. In Hyper-V, those VMware tools in VMware Workstation, here they're called integration services. Integration services is doing more than just VMware tools. It is doing operating system shutdowns. It is doing time synchronization. It is doing data exchange, heartbeat, backup, and lot of things. So integration services are must on all VMs. Other than this, there is a snapshot location. If you have snapshot, it will take the snapshots here. Then others are normal properties here. So this is Hyper-V, guys. This is Hyper-V. Now, in Hyper-V, other than creating VMs, we can create switches as well. We can create switches. So let's go into switch configuration. So if I select a Hyper-V, and then if I go to Virtual Switch Manager, within Virtual Switch Manager, it shows me right here that how many switches do I have. I have just one switch. You all should have just one switch configured. One option is saying create a new switch, and the other option is the only switch that you have. Now, which switch I'm talking, guys, I'm talking about this switch. So this is my Hyper-V server, and I have this switch with which all my VMs are connected to. If I need to create a new switch, just like host only switch, then I have options. So here, if you click on new virtual switch, in new virtual switch, I can create 3 different type of switches. I can create an external switch, I can create an internal switch, I can create a private switch. Guys, external switch is the one that will connect the server to the outside world. That is external switch. Internal switch is on the other hand, it creates virtual switches that can be used only for virtual machines that run on the physical computer. Between virtual machines, the physical computer, and internal virtual switch does not provide connectivity to the physical network. So external will connect the machine. So external is like this. Guys, external is like this. This is my external switch. It connects me. But if I need to create a switch, I need to create a switch that has ports, but it has no connection to the outside world. So that is my internal switch. So what is my private switch? A private switch creates a virtual machine that can be used only for virtual machines that run on this physical computer. So that is private switch. You're right. So physical computer can work on internal switch, whereas private will be only between VMs, no connection to the physical computer. Good, fine, safe. So let's create a host-only switch. Just like in VMware Workstation, we need to create a host-only switch. So what type of switch would I need? Private. I'll go with private that has no connection either to host or to outside. So let's create a private switch and create a new switch and we'll name it host only. So let's name it host only for our understanding and remembering. In this case, it is host only switch, and host only switch has it is by default it is private network, and we'll apply the settings. So now my switch is created. So here, if I apply, now I have switch number one, which has external connection, and I have host only switch. So now, guys, let's make sure that our CANFs Web 1 and CANFs Web 2 are connected to host only switch. For now, all of those VMs are connected to our first switch, but we need to connect Web 1 and Web 2 to host only switch. So we have created host only switch. And now how do you make the change? You would go to Web 1 properties, settings. Within settings, you go to network card. And within network card, just change this to host only. So within network card, you change the virtual switch to host only. So this becomes host only. Exactly the way how we do it in VMware Workstation. You go to VM settings and change it to host only. Here you can I can change it to this switch or that switch. Yes? What? What? Okay, hold on. Have you created the host only switch? Okay, hold on. So here, select the server, go to virtual switch manager, and then here, do you see the host only switch here? Do you see it?